So the MCU is dead, and Kevin Feige and Disney killed it. They're already making excuses for upcoming movies about why they're going to flop at the box office because they already know that the MCU will never be the powerhouse that it used to be again. Let's check it out. If you enjoy news like this, if you enjoy Marvel, Star Wars, just pop culture news in general, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I post multiple times a day on this channel. Let's get into the video. So yeah, like I said, the MCU is going to die, or is already in the process of dying. The upcoming MCU movies are just not going to do well at the box office, and that's for multiple reasons. Yes, you can blame it on, the pandemic, everything that happened in 2020 and 2021, everything that's happening right now in the world. It's pretty crazy. I agree with that. But at the same time, that's not the only reason why the MCU is dying, and people know that. Disney knows that, Marvel knows that, Kevin Feige knows that. That's why Kevin Feige will be leaving soon, and I think that that might also play a part in it. I think that Kevin Feige might be not losing interest, but not being as heavily invested in the MCU as he used to be, because he is on his way out. It's been reported multiple times by multiple insiders that in the next 3 to 5 years, Kevin Feige will be leaving Marvel. He's been grooming someone that's under him to take over for him. I always forget the woman's name, but he's been grooming her for a while to take over for him for a while, and he's been open about it. He's been saying that she's going to be his successor for a while, so it's not a secret. This isn't anything that's breaking news that Kevin Feige will leave Marvel in the next 5 years. That is going to happen. But now we have stuff like this. Yesterday I reported on, or maybe a couple days ago, I reported on the fact that they're saying that Shang-Chi will release in theaters exclusively for 45 days, and they were calling that an experimental release. When in reality, that's not an experimental release. That's just how movies release in theaters before all this stuff was happening in the world. That's just how movies were released. Yes, it's 45 days instead of 90 days, but that's not really experimental. That's just shortening the time that the movie is going to spend in theaters. That's not anything crazy. But why they're using that experimental word is so that whenever Shang-Chi flops, they already have an excuse. They can already say, well, Shang-Chi was just an experiment. We just released it in theaters for 45 days. It was just an experiment. We're not worried about the MCU. We're not worried about Marvel at all. But then the Shang-Chi actor, I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not even going to try. But he took offense to the fact that they called it a 45-day release in theaters. He took offense to the fact that they called it an experimental release, because he even knows that it's not an experimental release. They're just trying to make excuses for this movie flopping already. Even the actor that is playing Shang-Chi knows this, and he slams Disney CEO Bob Chapek for his comments that he made. Shang-Chi himself, I'm not going to say the name once again, slams Disney CEO Bob Chapek after he said the theatrical release of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was an interesting experiment during the company's earnings call on Thursday. "We are not an experiment," the actor posted on his Twitter and Instagram accounts, and here is the tweet that he was talking about. He said, "We are not an experiment. We are the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy that will persevere after an embattled year. We are the surprise. I'm fired the F up to make history on September 3rd. Join us." Well, I don't know what history he is planning on making, but this movie is not going to do well in the theaters. And like I said, it is definitely, part of it is because of everything that's happening in the world right now. It's a crazy time. I agree with you. That is 100% part of it. But it's not the only part. There's multiple factors that play into the fact that the MCU is dying right now. I mean, we just saw Black Widow. A lot of people have been coming after me saying that Black Widow wasn't a flop. Black Widow was a great movie. Well, all I have to do is click over a tab and show you the box office numbers and show you that it definitely was a flop. I don't know exactly what the budget was, but I believe that they had to make around 400 million to break even. And right now they're at 367 million worldwide. So they're not even breaking even yet. They might break even in the future. But honestly, it's probably not likely at this point they'll break even in the future. And then you have Suicide Squad. And a lot of people have been telling me, because I'm saying that the comic book genre as a whole may be dying. It might not just be the MCU. It might not just be Marvel. I think that the comic book movies have just been going downhill in quality, and I think that they might be dying as a whole. A lot of people saying the same thing about Suicide Squad 2. It's not a flop. Suicide Squad 2 was a great movie. All I have to do is look at this box office number, 118 million worldwide. That is absolutely awful. $26 million domestic opening is absolutely awful. And yes, this has a lot to do with the HBO Max release. I agree with you. But HBO Max, but Warner Bros., they know that, and they're still letting their movie die at the box office. They're still letting their movie do absolutely horrible at the box office. It's not a good look. It's just not. And if these people can't profit, because look at Jungle Cruise's opening. Jungle Cruise's opening wasn't that bad. So the fact that these other movies are opening bigger than Suicide Squad, even though that they are releasing on streaming at the same time, and yes, there's a fee on Disney Plus to watch it. I understand that, but it's not a good look from the studio's perspective. They just see these comic book movies, they see these superhero movies doing really poorly at the box office, and they're like, why are we making these huge budget movies. This movie's budget was around 185 million, and if you double that for marketing, it's close to 400 million, and I would say that it's probably a little bit over 400 million because they had to push the movie back a couple of times. So they probably had to make around 400 million for this movie to break even, and they're at 118 million worldwide. They're probably going to lose, even if this movie hits 200 million, they're going to end up losing $200 million on this movie. That is really, really bad. That is really awful. Say what you want about the HBO Max release, say what you want about everything that's going on in the world. I 100% agree with you. There is things that are going on. There's a lot of factors that play into this. But losing $200 million, I don't think the studio cares that much about what's going on in the world when movies like Jungle Cruise might even make a little bit of money. Maybe, if worst case scenario, I think Jungle Cruise will break even at the box office. Bob Chapek has seemingly written Shang-Chi off as a data point for future theatrical and streaming hybrid release strategies. On Shang-Chi, we think it's actually going to be an interesting experiment for us because it's only got a 45-day window for us, Chapek said during the Q3 2021 earnings. So the prospect of being able to take a Marvel title to the streaming service after going theatrical for 45 days will be yet another data point to inform our actions going forward on our titles, with Shang-Chi already projected to underperform at an estimated 35 to 55 million, which I think honestly is a little bit generous. I think that maybe I think that its ceiling is 50 million. I don't think 55, but either way, it's pretty bad. You know, opening weekend 35 million would be pretty bad, I think. For a Marvel movie, that's bad. And because of the juggernaut that it used to be. It used to be guaranteed $1 billion at the box office, and it will never be that again. I'm sorry to break it to all you Marvel fans out there. I'm one of you. I love Marvel movies, but it will never be the juggernaut that it used to be for multiple reasons that I'll go into later on in the video. Having the boss of your company wave it away as mere data point didn't sit well with the film star. And there's other factors, like I said, there's other factors that play into this, like everything that's going on in the world, but also the woke agenda that's being pushed in these movies. It's undeniable. It's undeniable that this woke agenda is being pushed, that, you know, the race swaps, the gender swaps, all of that stuff happened constantly. Even in the Black Widow marketing for that movie, it was saying that Scarlett Johansson was coming out saying that it's Marvel's Me Too movie, all that other stuff that just makes it not have that mass appeal that it used to have. Well, you're pretty much saying whenever you market a movie like Scarlett Johansson is the first woman to ever star in a movie in the history of humankind, whenever you market a movie like that, you're saying that this movie is not for people like me. And a lot of people out there are like me. So whenever you say that that movie is not for a certain group of people, you're alienating a lot of your fan base, which makes you make less money. And also, these movies just don't have the mass appeal, even if they don't alienate the fan base. Movies like Black Widow don't have the appeal that a Captain America or Iron Man movie would have, or an Avengers movie would have. Same thing with Shang-Chi. You know, a lot of people don't even know who Shang-Chi is. Like I said in my videos a couple days ago, I'm friends with a lot of diehard comic book fans, and they didn't even know who Shang-Chi was until he was announced to be in the MCU. And they're diehard fans. Even Yellow Flash said in his video, who is a very diehard comic book fan, he has a whole YouTube channel that's kind of based around comics. He said that he didn't even know who Shang-Chi was before they announced him in the MCU either. So it's not just my friends, it's a lot of comic book fans out there don't even know who that is. So you better believe that the casual fans don't know who that is either. And in reality, they probably don't even care who it is. And this is also another sign that Marvel has no faith in their future, that Marvel has no faith in their movies going forward doing well at the box office. Why do you think that they would replace Captain Marvel 2, Brie Larson dropped, for the Marvels? Why do you think that that would happen? It's because they know that people will not go see a Captain Marvel 2, and they have to do anything possible to make more money at the box office, because after they have flops like Shang-Chi, like Black Widow, they need every single penny that they can get, and they know that if they change the title from Captain Marvel 2 in favor of the Marvels, they might get a little bit more people. They might be able to pull that bait and switch that so many other people pull. I guarantee you they market this movie as it's not like a Brie Larson movie, that it's a group movie, it's the Marvels movie, it's not a Captain Marvel movie, it's the Marvels movie. I guarantee you they market it like that, but it's going to be Brie Larson's movie once again. We all know that that's going to happen. But with that being said, I do hope for the best for the MCU. I do hope that I'm completely wrong on this, and I hope that the MCU totally changes their tune, because if they don't change their tune, then they're going to fail. They're 100% going to fail. So I hope that they change their tune and start making content for the true fans again. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but I hope that they do, and I hope that they end up thriving and becoming the juggernaut once again that they used to be. But let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. What do you think that the MCU will do in the future? Do you think that it's going to fail like I do, or do you think that it will become the juggernaut that it used to be once again? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.